A good evening and thanks for being with us on the evening news. My name is Ifunaya Amafili and our stories trending for today. INEC parleys with religious leaders, seeks their cooperation to mobilize voters. Anambra Police Command nabs 19-year-old secondary school boy for stealing female underpants. 3 soldiers die in Borno in attempt to repel Boko Haram terrorists. And on the foreign scene, Mexican legislators vote overwhelmingly to establish National Guard. And we'll start with the news in details. Governor Willie Obiano has directed all Progressive Grand Alliance faithfuls across the length and breadth of the country to mount door-to-door campaigns, spread the good news of the party. Governor Obiano gave the directive when he stormed St. Mary's Central School, Upo, Nnewi South and Eneta Edo Square, Nnewi North Council areas of the state for a thank you rally for the gubernatorial election in the state. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana reports that frontline candidates of the party in the areas, amongst numerous Abga faithfuls and supporters, trooped out en masse to receive the governor. The report.
Obiano said the visit was imperative in order to acknowledge the efforts of the people at returning him for a second term of 4 years. The governor stressed that as the Chairman Board of Trustees of the party, he's still contesting and he's still backing all candidates that emerged under the party in the area as the party is becoming stronger by the day. He assured of carrying everybody along with his remaining 3 years to ensure even distribution of democracy dividends by his administration, asking them to vote for Abga in all the positions.
19/20, the numbers. Maka Indiana defa, winning the numbers the kumba. So when I can no.
Describing the party as a movement, the national chairman of Abga, Chief Victor Oye, gave the message of unity under one roof called Abga, describing it as the only party with Igbo ideologies, and called on all aggrieved members to cheat their sword and rally around the party for a resounding victory in all elective positions. A vote
for Abga is a vote for integrity and posterity.
The Transition Committee Chairman of Nnewi South, Chief Felix Odumegu, and his Nnewi North counterpart, Mr. Chukwu Orizu, expressed gratitude to the governor for coming to show appreciation, assuring of total win for Abga in the coming election. Speaking, an Abga stalwart in Anambra South Senatorial District, Prince Nicholas Okachukwu, said that his commitment to the party is not in doubt, expressing optimism that Abga will emerge victorious in all elective positions in the state.
It's an opportunity for me to leverage on what the government is doing presently, and then all the programs have been working in other states as a federal district to bring it to add to what I'm doing more for my community.
The occasion served as a platform to present the Abga flag to different Abga candidates in the areas visited.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has appealed to religious leaders to encourage their members and followers to participate actively in the electoral process. Our correspondent, Paul Ezeoke, is standing by with the details.
Speaking during an interactive section with religious leaders towards successful 2019 general elections in Okorocha, the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, INEC Headquarters, Abuja, Barrister Festus Okoye, urged them to help mobilize their members to collect their permanent voters' cards within various window periods provided by the Commission before the end of the exercise on February 8, as it will amount to efforts in futility if those registered fail to collect their permanent voters' cards, adding that the distribution of the cards has been decentralized to one level for 6 days. Barrister Okoye explained that 84 million registered voters are expected to participate in the coming election across the country, out of which 80% are people between 18 and 50 years.
No election will be conducted in Nigeria without the use of the smart card reader. When a voter gets to the polling unit, the voter must be in possession of the permanent voter's card. Any voter that does not have a permanent voter's card, he should not even approach any of the polling units. And when a voter approaches any of the polling units, the voter must be in possession of the permanent voter's card, the voter's name must also be on the voter's register. And the smart card reader should be in a position to also read the biometrics of the voter before the voter will be allowed to cast his.
The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Okorocha, said voting will take place in 5,720 polling units and voting points across the state, while the Commission will need about 24,000 ad hoc personnel to conduct the elections. Dr. Oji assured that they are replacing and upgrading their equipment and facilities, as well as sustaining high tempo of voter education to encourage mass participation of people in the elections.
Get our followers to make sure that they don't just register, but they need to come to pick up their PVC, come to the polling unit, get accredited, and then cast their vote. That's when you complete the cycle. If you are happy with yourself, you wait and observe what is happening in your polling unit. That's also a big responsibility. We call it mandate protection. You have to protect your mandate.
The State Chairman of Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Reverend Dr. John Ndubisi, and the State Chairman of Nigeria Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Sani Ejo, restated their commitments towards promoting the cause of peaceful, free, fair, and credible elections.
We have come for a common cause: peace for the nation, progress for the nation, prosperity for the nation, future for the nation, good governance for the nation.
The meeting is very timely and very important. It enlightened all of us to know the voting procedures that are on ground. It is our responsibility as our leaders, to convey whatever information we hear here to our followers.
The interaction featured question and answer section. In Oka, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
The State Police Command today paraded a 19-year-old boy arrested in Onitsha over allegedly stealing a female underpants for ritual purpose. Correspondent Emmanuel Okunko tells us more.
The suspect, who is a senior secondary school student, Master Chinonye Okorie, a native of Obako of Imo State and resident at number 21 Omona Street, Odapo, Onitsha, was caught by a sister to the pant owner while trying to steal a pant which was spread on a rope at the residence. Parading the suspect, the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gal Bauma, represented by Police Public Relations Officer Mr. Haruna Mohammed, disclosed that the suspect was arrested on 11th of this month at about 6:48 a.m. by police detectives attached to Central Police Station Onitsha after he was reported to the station. He said that the pant was recovered from the suspect and he will be charged to court after investigations, as efforts are still on to apprehend other accomplices and bring them to book. Mr. Omar, however, implored the public to be vigilant and report any suspicious act or movement in their environment to any police station for prompt action.
Arrested while trying to steal a pant spread on the rope, with intent to sell it to some suspects who are still at large at the rate of 80,000 naira for ritual purposes. The command arrested the suspect, and the suspect has confessed and making an effort to arrest his accomplice.
Confessing to the crime, the suspect said he was lured into the dastardly act by 3 men who blocked him with vehicle on his way back from school last week Wednesday, promising to change his life with the sum of 80,000 naira if he succeeds bringing them a lady's pant. Master Okorie, while pleading for forgiveness, said his cohorts disappeared immediately after he was caught.
I saw one pant and I decided to collect it and go and give to them. So the person, like that, the owner, brother's sister then came outside. I asked him what is that thing that I'm holding. I told him that there's nothing I was holding. One of our students, the chairman of our students said that they should take me to the security and from there they brought me to the police.
The victim, Mary Ofodile, alleged that over 5 of such innerwears belonging to her and her siblings have missed before the recent incident. From the state police headquarters in Abia, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
Over 1,000 persons have been diagnosed and treated for various ailments at the 14th edition of the Ferdinand Dozie-Nwankwo Free Medical Outreach for Okorocha Council residents. The free medical program, which took place at the Unity Hall, Agulu, had an impressive turnout of patients from Agulu, Zibo, Obeledu, Akwaedze, and Inri. And our correspondent, Daniel Ezeigwe, has more on the details.
The free medical outreach, the third on this year's timetable, had residents diagnosed and treated on several health areas, including dental care, ophthalmology, and general health care. The doctors on ground also performed minor surgeries, counseled and recommended drugs and glasses to patients in those health challenge order. The coordinator of the health outreach, Dr. Gemma Henry Ibe, said that a targeted 200 eye disease-related surgeries will be carried out in the edition and noted that adequate hands are on ground to ensure that all cases are attended to.
Target population is 1,000 patients, but as you can see, we have more than 2,000 patients around here to be seen. Our target, since this project started, is that we see every person on ground, no matter how hectic it is and no matter how stressful the work is.
Dr. Ejike Jikendo, a dental and maxillofacial consultant surgeon in charge of the dental unit of the program, described the free medical program as a laudable venture.
Since I've been coming for the past 4 years, for each year I come, the burden is being reduced. To show you the impact of what we are doing as free medical outreach is impacting on the people of Anambra.
Some beneficiaries, Reverend Sister Nkechi Akonyele, who got drugs and new glasses, Mrs. Florence Okaba, who had teeth extraction, and Barrister James Obianyam, who got treatment and drugs for severe arthritis and toothache, said the benefactor, Chief Dozie-Nwankwo, has, through the program, shown humane character to his constituents.
The work we are doing is very nice. There are so many doctors and they are fast, in seeing people.
It is really very enjoyable and worth commending.
The Director General of Dozie-Nwankwo Campaign Organization, Engineer Sam Orebunam, said the target of the outreach is to have an intensive reach out to the 22 communities that make up the Okorocha, Dunukofia, and Njikoka Federal Constituency, which the benefactor of the program represents at the Federal House of Representatives. From Agoro, Okorocha Council Area, Daniel Ezeigwe, ABS News.
The Nigerian Army has said that 3 soldiers of Operation Lafia Dole lost their lives while successfully fighting to repel Boko Haram terrorists who attacked RAN in 8 gun trucks on Tuesday. The Army also said troops successfully foiled an attempt by scores of Boko Haram terrorists to infiltrate Gijaram community. The statement said, unquote, troops of Operation Lafia Dole deployed in forward operational base in Gijaram have fiercely countered a group of Boko Haram terrorists who made frantic attempts to infiltrate Gijaram community on Tuesday, 15th January 2019. The terrorists, wanting to take advantage of the cover of darkness to attack the town, met with the prompt response of the vigilant troops who fiercely engaged them in combat, killing several and recovering weapons. End of quote. A statement by Colonel Onyema Nwachukwu, Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, also said that the gallant troops had currently on the trails of some of the terrorist survivors who fled the scene of the encounter. A week long of activities marking the 10th year anniversary of inauguration of Amici Diocese and the consecration of pioneer bishop of the diocese, Right Reverend Ephraim Ikeako, has been concluded with a Thanksgiving service at the Cathedral Church of St. Andrew's, Amici, Nnewi South Local Government. Chidima Ikeanyomo was there and now reports.
The anniversary service was well attended by the creme de la creme in the society, including Governor Willie Obiano, top government officials, politicians, industrialists, host of bishops, both from the state and beyond, clergymen, students, amongst others. Delivering a sermon, the Archbishop Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, while congratulating Bishop Ikako, the clergy and laity of the diocese, for the giant strides in the diocese, urged all to imbibe the spirit of cooperation, brotherhood, humility, and above all, knowing Jesus Christ so as to promote evangelism.
They've been able to move, lay a very solid foundation on which future growth can be built. So I'm very impressed.
In his speech, Governor Obiano, represented by the Managing Director, Oka Capital Development Authority, ACDA, Venerable Amechi Okwusa, said the present administration has been supportive to the diocese and assured them of more unflinching support, going on to urge the gathering to vote wisely and avoid selling their votes.
The state, the chief doctor, Mother Obiano, center is one way to Mr. People. Wishing them the best. And he's telling them that he'll continue to be with them and that he'll continue to support them.
In an interview, the Bishop of the Diocese, Right Reverend Ikako, thanked God for his grace, faithfulness, and leading over the years. The primate, the people of Amici, and all who have been supportive to him and the diocese, which he said had led to the great achievement in the diocese, assuring that by God's grace, more developmental projects will be cited in the diocese within the next 3 years.
Worship and adoration to God. He has been our helper, He has been our sustainer. Everything you see that can cause success here is just God and nothing but God.
Some of those present at the church service, Chief Godwin Ezemu, the Abia senatorial candidate for Anambra South, Prince Nicholas Okachukwu, and Managing Director, Chisco Group, Chief Chidi Anyebu, eulogized Bishop Ikako for the level of development in the diocese. Presentation of Distinguished Temple Builders Award and recognitions. Presentation of the diocesan publication. Music renditions by the choir. Cutting of the anniversary cake and Thanksgiving by Bishop Ikako and family, accompanied by other bishops, friends, and well-wishers, formed the high points of the anniversary service. From Amici in Nnewi South Council area, I am Chidima Ikanyo reporting for ABS News.
Despite an increase in the collection efficiency, the remittance by electric distribution companies to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC for the energy received by them dropped to 27.5% in the third quarter of 2018 from 31.5% in the previous quarter. The latest quarterly report released by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission showed that the DISCOs failed to remit a total of 108.4 billion to NBET in the third quarter. The government-owned NBET buys electricity in bulk from generation companies through power purchase agreements and sells to the DISCOs, which then supply to the consumers. The report revealed that the collection efficiency of the DISCOs increased from 64.2% in the second quarter to 65.5% in the third quarter. NERC said only 2 of the DISCOs recorded an increase in remittance performance in the third quarter, adding that none of them remitted up to 50% of their market invoices. Moving over to the foreign scene, Mexican legislators have overwhelmingly voted for the creation of a new 60,000-member National Guard, a proposal embraced by leftist President Andrés Manuel López Obrador as a crucial tool in the fight against organized crimes. The proposal was approved by about 3/4 of the lower house of Congress, 362 votes in favor and 119 against, with changes to Mexico's constitution requiring a 2/3 vote in both the chambers. Obrador's Morena party teamed up with smaller leftist allies and legislators from the centrist Institutional Revolutionary Party, or PRI, to ensure the House approval for the new National Guard, which will replace the armed forces in the fight against crime, including drug offenses. In the first phase, the National Guard will be composed of some 60,000 members transferred from the existing military and federal police forces, but it was not clear when it might include new hires. According to the fine print of the proposal, the head of the force will be a civilian, but operational chiefs will be military officers. Moving over to sports, as the University of Lagos prepares to host the 26th Nigerian University Games Association NUGA Games, its sports management board says the institution will soon be the country's sports hub. The chairman of the board, Professor Oyewo, made the assertion in an interview in Lagos and spoke against the backdrop of the university's performance at the last West African University Games in Port Harcourt last year. The competition, which commenced on October 31st and ended on November 12, 2018, saw the university coming second on the medals table behind the host university, University of Port Harcourt. The institution had received officially its 134-man contingent to the Games, with the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, giving the athletes letter of commendations and plaques as reward for their performance. Now, don't forget that you can follow our news and programs on ABS from any part of the world simply by logging on to our website, which is www.absradiotv.com, or like us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/radio television, and follow us on our Twitter and Instagram handle at ABS Radio TV. But before we end the news, let's go through our main points for this evening. INEC parleys with religious leaders, seeks their cooperation to mobilize voters. Anambra Police Command has nabbed 19-year-old secondary school boy for stealing a female underpants. 3 soldiers have died in Bruno in an attempt to repel Boko Haram terrorists. And in the foreign scene, Mexican legislators have voted overwhelmingly to establish a National Guard. Many thanks for being with us. My name is Ifunaya Amafili. Do have a pleasant evening.